The people are once more rising in Ecuador. Highways blocked, cities paralyzed, indigenous and student protesters filling the streets, demanding justice, dignity, and an end to austerity. This latest wave began when President Daniel Noboa, one of the country's youngest and wealthiest leaders, cut diesel subsidies, raising prices from $1.8 to $2.8 a gallon. He called it fiscal reform, but for millions already living paycheck to paycheck, it was the final straw. Police cracked down hard, states of emergency were declared. To understand today, we have to rewind to 2019. That year, then President Lenin Moreno tried the same playbook, cutting fuel subsidies to satisfy the IMF. The result? Weeks of mass demonstrations led by CONE, the Confederation of Indigenous Nationalities of Ecuador. Indigenous women marched on Quito, youth occupied roads. After days of clashes and dozens injured, the government was forced to retreat. Moreno repealed the decree, and the protesters claimed victory. But beneath the surface, the structural problem, IMF-driven austerity and extractive dependence, never changed. Then came a rare spark of hope. In August 2023, Ecuador made global history. After 10 years of legal battles, the Yasuní environmental movement won a national referendum asking a simple question: should Ecuador keep the oil in the ground in Yasuní National Park, one of the most biodiverse regions on Earth, home to the Waorani, Tagaeri, and Taromenani peoples, some living in voluntary isolation? Nearly 59% voted yes. It was the first time in all of the Americas that a nation voted to end oil drilling for the sake of indigenous and environmental rights. But implementation stalled. When Daniel Noboa took office later that year, he delayed the shutdown, claiming Ecuador couldn't afford it. The state company Petroecuador kept pumping crude, defying the popular will. Indigenous federations like CONE and CONFENE called it a betrayal of democracy and sovereignty, as the government simultaneously approved new mining projects, threatening water and sacred lands. Ecuador is trapped in the same cycle: IMF debt, austerity, extraction, repression. And the people paying the price are the ones defending the planet from global warming. Ecuador's economy has long been tied to foreign debt and oil exports. In 2019, an IMF loan of $4 billion required deep cuts in subsidies and public spending. Then later, in 2024, a new extended fund facility pushed the same agenda again: privatization, subsidy reforms, fiscal discipline. But austerity doesn't build stability, it builds anger. Today's protests are about more than fuel, they're about sovereignty, economic and political. Who controls Ecuador's future? The people of the Andes and the Amazons, or the bankers in Washington? From the streets of Quito to the depths of Amazon, Ecuador's fight is one and the same. A battle being fought, led by the Gen Z worldwide.
Queremos que haya paz en el país y eso tiene que hacer Noboa. Si no hace Noboa, el pueblo ya está indignado y seguirá movilizado hasta que cambie su política.
Until next time, stay informed, stay in the struggle.